यद्यप्येते न पश्यन्ति लोभोपहत चेतसः कुलक्षय कृतं दोषं मित्रद्रोहे च पातकम् कथं न ज्ञेयमस्माभिः पापादस्मान्निवर्तितुम् कुलक्षय कृतं दोषं प्रपश्यद्भिर्जनार्दन. Who will read? Yeah.
Even though these people, with their mind blinded by greed, perceive no evil in destroying their own race and no sin in treason to friends, why should not we? O Krishna, who see clearly the sin occurring from the destruction of one's family, think of desisting from committing this sin.
Now, Arjun's foot is not just in his mouth, it's gone up to the knee also. Even though these people, with their mind blinded by greed, perceive no evil in destroying their own race, and they also don't see any sin in betraying their friends. But what about us, Krishna? Us, the Pandavas? Who can see very clearly? We are very smart and we are very intelligent, dharmic and sattvic and all. We can easily see that if we destroy our family, we will get a lot of pap, and therefore we must not do this. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya. These are the 6 enemies of man. Why? Why? If you come into the grip of any one of these 6, you cannot think clearly. When you are in the grip of any one of these 6, you cannot see things clearly and you cannot take the right decision. You will be deluded, you will be confused, you will be taking a decision looking through, like if you have red specs, the world appears red. If you have green specs, the world appears green. So when you are in the grips of one of these 6, that emotion will color your decision. So here he is saying that the Kauravas are in the grips of what? Which emotion? Greed. Lobh. What is the difference between Kama and Lobh?
Desire.
Greed.
So what is the difference?
When there's no end, you
Continuous
want
desire.
continuous.
Once you meet the desire, then
You're not satisfied.
Calm is desire for something you don't have. And Lobh is a desire for more of what you already have. More and more, more and more. And who has got caught in the Lobh over here? Kauravas. They already have a kingdom. They already have riches. They already have wealth. They already have name. They already have fame. They don't want Pandavas to get anything because they want more and more. And when are we going to be in the grips of Lobh? Mind blinded by greed. When your mind is blinded. When your mind is blinded, because these Kauravas are the sons of Dhritarashtra and Gandhari. Dhritarashtra born blind, and Gandhari voluntarily put patti, so intellect also became blind. So the product of a blind mind and a blind intellect will produce blindness in the offspring, that means your thoughts will be blind and they will be in the grips of lobe. So this is not an outside father, mother and sons. This is your own mind. When your mind is blind with Kam, Krodh, Moh, Lobh, Mad, Matsarya, and you have also, intellect has been given the ability to discriminate. That is its actual function. But out of your own stupidity, you have blinded that also. You have put a patti on your intellect also. Then this antakaran of blinded intellect and blind mind is producing sons. Which sons? Your thoughts, your emotions, your understanding, which will also be blind. Kulakshaya kritam dosham means what? Whole race will get destroyed. If we fight this war, then what will happen? Our whole race, whole family will get destroyed. So if we take this literally also and talk about greed in the outside world, then when we have a greed for wealth, when we have a greed for home or whatever, material things, then what happens? It becomes so strong that we don't see who we are fighting against. We have known brothers fighting against brothers. We have got good examples in our own society, right? You know. And even this desire for more wealth can also turn a mother against her daughter. Yes? No? Court case going on?
Yes.
Yes. So all these things are actual examples that for the greed of more money, for the greed of wealth, for the greed of name, fame, house, power, you will kill your own brother, you will kill your own child, you will kill your own father, you will separate, you will fight, you will have court cases. So yes, greed will 100% destroy the family. And mitra droha also. If you can kill your own son, daughter, brother, mother, father, then what is friends? Friends, the best of friends for the sake of money, have cheated against each other. Business partners have cheated against each other. And that is what he is talking about, Arjun. And he calls him again what name? Janardana, protector. Protector. So, he should be protecting society, he should be protecting the nation by not letting Arjun fight this war. Because of greed, family will get destroyed, society will get destroyed, nation will be destroyed, and you are Janardana, you are the protector. So protect the nation, protect the society, protect the family, and don't let this war go on. That is what he's trying to tell them. Now, he's making a comparison, no? They are blinded. But we who know so much, we are so pious, we are so sattvic. This is one false kind of arrogance, I would say, that overcomes spiritually inclined persons who are pursuing spirituality. Oh, we are so sattvic and we know. He's trying to show how spiritually advanced he is compared to the Kauravas. Okay, at least we should not make this mistake. At least we should not do all this. But often the ones who claim to be so spiritually advanced and who criticize those who are not so spiritual, they also are in the grips of one delusion. They also are the ones who are committing some terrible or taking some terribly ridiculous decisions in their life. So Arjun is talking as if he is very dharmic, but his whole understanding of dharma is warped over here, completely warped. Okay? Now the wrong understanding of dharma is as dangerous as not understanding Dharma. Because Bhishma Pitama lived his entire life thinking he is doing Dharma. But at the end, when he was lying on the bed of arrows and Lord Krishna told him, your entire life was not spent in Dharma, it was spent in Adharma. So that is something we have to be very careful of. So you can have a particular individual can be destroyed. Even a dynasty can be destroyed because of that. So the entire Kuru dynasty was destroyed and a whole country was destroyed, Hastinapur. Now, let us see this whole verse symbolically. This was all in outside. These people, what does it say? Even though these people with their mind blinded by greed, these people, we know we are talking about Kauravas, but it is talking about our own negative tendencies inside. Talking about these people. And when our thoughts are in the grips of greed, lobh, we also do not stop at anything to fulfill our desires. We will destroy our own family. We will cheat our friends. We will go against society until and unless we are guided by Vivek. So this is a caution for us that Vivek means Buddhi, understanding, wisdom of what is right and what is wrong should always be nurtured with us. That should be given the priority in our life. Vivek should be alive. And we Pandavas are the positive qualities he's talking about. Now, in each one of us, there are some negative qualities, negative tendencies, negative gunas, negative habits, and positives. Yes or no?
Yes.
There's no one who's just like completely without any blot or slur of negative thing. Now, we all want to be good. But unfortunately, we are not ready to give up all the bad. We all want that there should be no dukh in our life. Right or wrong?
Yes.
We only want sukh. But we are not ready to do what is required to be done to get rid of the dukh. It's always, we think that we can coexist with the bad habits and the good habits. Because my good habits are much more than the bad habits. So it's okay, one or two bad habits, it's okay. Let it, don't look at them. And we also don't want to look at them. But the point is that until and unless you get rid of all of them, you're not going to get that happiness, that bliss, that anand that you are pursuing. If you keep those negative things, then for a while you'll get the sukh. But sukh is not good enough because after sukh, dukh always will come. And after dukh, sukh will come. It's a cycle. And if you want to get out of this cycle of sukh and dukh, what is to get out of the cycle of sukh and dukh? Aspire for anand. Don't aspire for sukh. Aspire for anand. That is the permanent thing. Sukh and dukh are temporary. Then what you have to do? You have to work for that. It doesn't just come like that. It is there inside you, but it doesn't just manifest. You have to be able to get rid of your negatives. And for that, you cannot justify your negatives as Arjun is doing here. You cannot rationalize, thoda hi hai, And only sometimes I get angry, but only with this person. With everyone else, I am very good. And I only get angry with this person because this person is XYZ. Doesn't work. and this person does like this to me, that's why I get angry. Let him do or let her do anything. If you want Anand, you have to overcome that. So if we want Anand permanently, we have to get rid of temporary Sukh and Dukh. And therefore we have to get rid of temporary luxuries and temporary pleasures if you want to aspire for permanent Anand. The two cannot coexist. Hamid.
Why do we feel as if this temporary sukh is more attractive and appealing and easier than aspiring? Like you said, many spiritual seekers just say, forget it, it's too much work. I mean,
Yeah.
Even though I get it when you say that Anand will be amazing, it just feels like thoda.
Because a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. And something known, tangible, experienced right now by me, the batata vada, the chocolate cake, whatever, at least I can have it right now. You're telling me there's one permanent bliss, but I don't know what is that permanent bliss. And now you're telling me not even in Swarga is permanent. So, Jane do, I cannot pursue that, And now you're telling me I have to let go. I have to let go of this attachment to this. I have to let go of this attachment. I have to let go of this. What will happen to me? We are afraid. Will I be one boring person? Will I lose my friends? Will I lose my identity? Will I lose my, will I not get invited to any parties anymore? And, we have all these fears. And our attachment to our goal is not so pakka to make us understand that I'm happy, I'm enjoying all these things, but the minute my friend for whom I'm clamoring for one invitation, the minute that friend says one gali to me, I am disturbed. I'm clamoring to go to a function, but if I don't get that recognition and that, status over there, I am in grief. All the sukhs that we aspire for temporarily, all are tinged with dukh. But we would rather suffer that dukh, but at least for some time we'll get that sukh. God knows what she tells in Bhagavad Gita class, permanent bliss and all. Ananda, milega, nahi mila, pata nahi. Maybe I'll try next lifetime. So you give up. You give up. It's better to have something in my hand right now. At least party hai, kapda hai, makaan hai, jewelry hai. ये सब जाएगा तो क्या रहेगा? I look like one bhoot. And how can I stop eating chocolate cake? What about my batata vada? What about my samosa? Can't give all this up. Jane do. That's it. Tangible is more real for us. And the thing is, it's not so easy also to rise above these desires. They say it takes 8 to 12 years to come out of a bad habit. Who has that patience? 8 to 12 years. That is the significance of all the vanvas that you read in Mahabharata and Ramayana. Why Ram went into the forest for how many years? 14 years. Why the Pandavas were sent? That is symbolic. The vanvas is symbolic. For so many years, you live without the luxuries. Then there's a chance of it dropping. We worked 8-12 years. We are not able to do for 8-10 days also. How we will rise above it? How we'll drop it?
You have to go out and do something.
Yeah, you have to go out. You cannot stay. You cannot have status quo. You have to get out. And okay, where is the one to go to now? You're all urbanized. There is no forest you can go to. It is again symbolic. Right here, right now, you make your one in your own home. Do it. You want that? Do it. Do you have the guts to do it? Do it. Do it. You can do it. It's possible. It is possible. Okay? So, before the strong good habit is fully formed, you have to put a distance between you and your bad habit. Bad habit. If you want to get rid of it, that distance has to be there. You have to starve out your bad habit. Okay?